Good morning, students. Is it audio is clear? Are you able to hear me? Boss, is it audio is clear? Correct. So students are joining. So let's wait for 2 minutes. Okay. So before that, so last class we have discussed about dual nature of matter and radiation. Okay. So this week you have this weekend you have a test based on the dual nature and radiation. And also we have what we are going to be studying this week, especially atom chapter. So atoms and dual nature of radiation. These two are the exam syllabus for this coming weekend. That is atoms, 80% radiation, dual nature of radiation, and 20% will be the atoms will come. Clear? So today we are going to be start the atom chapter, right? So whatever we are going to be start in this chapter, most of the things you may studied in chemistry, atoms, atomic structure in chemistry you have studied, right? So in that, most of the concept you have studied in this, what we are going to be discussed in this chapter, but still some mathematical equations related to physics that we are going to be discussed here. So otherwise, most of the atomic models like that are same only, right? So atoms. atoms. In that, basically, what is atom and how the structure of atom for the different atomic models are given by the different scientists, right? So from lower standard onwards, you may studying like there is something like or in chemistry you study Dalton theory of atomic structure or atomic model, or Dalton atomic model, Thomson atomic model, Rutherford atomic model, and finally there is a Bohr atomic model. These are the different atomic models we have. But in this, mainly we are going to be studying in this topic Rutherford model, and thereafter Bohr model. More details we'll study in Bohr model as well as Rutherford model. Basically, what is basic those three, like Dalton theory as well as Thomson model? What is Dalton theory means? According to the Dalton, so he assumed that atom is the smallest part, smallest sphere, smallest one, which cannot furtherly divide it, which cannot furtherly divide individually. So the smallest thing is named as an atom. Smallest thing is named as a atom. Clear? And also, second thing is assume that chemically and physical properties of atom of same element will be a same, and different elements will be different. That is chemical properties or physical properties related to that smallest thing which we call atom is same for same element, and the properties are different for different elements. But these not explain about clearly about what exactly atom consists, what are the things which is inside the atoms, and what is electrostatic attraction or repulsion force. We did not explain about that, right? So there are some drawbacks are there in Dalton theory. Mainly from Dalton theory, we have got it. The smallest thing which we call it as atom. And properties of this atom of same element or same, different elements will be different. That means same particular atoms of same element will have same properties. But different elements of atoms of different elements will have different physical as well as chemical properties. So next, according to Thomson atomic model, one more model came, that is Thomson given. He assumed that atom is like a sphere, okay, and in that sphere, and is taken as atom consists of positive charges and negative charges. Atom consists of positive charges and negative charges, and is explain something distribution of how this positive and negative charges. And also it said electrically atom is neutral. That means number of positive charge or amount of positive charge will be equal to the total amount of negative charge in an atom. Electrically neutral is said. But he assumed the orientation of positive charge and negative charge inside the atom is, he assumed that throughout the atom uniformly distributed the positive charge, uniformly distributed everywhere in atom, like a sphere. If you take in that particular sphere, everywhere uniformly distributed positive charge, but negative charge inserted in there, like the seeds in the watermelon. How the seeds in the watermelon inserted there, like the seeds in the watermelon, the electrons or the negative charge inserted inside the atom is said. That is uniformly positive charge distributed throughout the atom, and negative charge inserted dot like that in seeds, like in a seeds, watermelon seeds. How the seeds are present in watermelon, like that the negative charge is inserted in the atom. So that is watermelon model also we can call, or plum pudding model also we can call. That is maybe you studied in chemistry, right? But basically, which we are going to be concentrate here, Rutherford atomic model or Bohr model. So first we will go with the Rutherford atomic model. So this atomic model are explained on the basis of by conducting one series of scattering experiments, or especially alpha particle scattering we call. So the Rutherford explained on the basis of alpha particle scattering only. So let us we see what is alpha particle scattering experiment, what he observed from the experimental observations from alpha particle scattering, and what are the result we got from there. And from that, some mathematical equations are there like scattering angle, number of alpha particle scattering, and one more impact parameter, other closest approach distance. This mathematical formula related to alpha particle scattering is there. So that we will going to be discussed. After that, we'll start Bohr model. These are two main things are there in the atoms, right? Very simple topic, right? So let us see. Let us we go with the Rutherford atomic model. Rutherford atomic model. So in that he explained on the basis of alpha particle scattering experiment only. Alpha particle scattering experiment. Alpha particle scattering experiment. So alpha particle basically some kind of radioactive elements, from kind of radioactive elements. From there we will get the alpha particles. Basically alpha particle as some positive charge. Basically alpha particle is a positive charge particle. Positive charged particle, right? So basically the things we know that alpha particle is a positive charged particle. Positively charged particle. Okay. Alpha particle it is. Basically it is extract from some radioactive elements. Okay. So how this conducted alpha particle scattering experiment means? Look here. So here source of alpha particle we have. Source of alpha, like radioactive element we call. From this alpha particle is emitting, right? And here some slit will be present. Slit. From this alpha particle is coming. And here one gold foil, a thin layer of gold, gold foil we call, and is Rutherford arranged the system in such a way that source of alpha particle emitting from here and it is passing through a slit. From there it is falling on the gold foil. So this is called gold foil. Gold foil. So which is arranged to fall on the gold foil. So once it is fall on the gold foil, so he observed that it is scattering. It is scattering. So the angle of scattering will be different angles. They are scattering. So this is alpha particle is scattering like this. So here there will be a so there can be a detector will be present on this. Detector. Detector of alpha particle. Okay. So this is scattering angle. It is theta. Scattering angle. So this is a beam of alpha particle. Okay, from this slit, beam of alpha particle is coming, falling on the gold foil, and it is deviating different angles. Different angles deviating, and the deviated or scattered alpha particle will be captured on this detector. Because totally it is around this, up to here it will be present like this. So total 180 degrees, up to 180 degrees, whatever the angles, whatever the alpha particles are scattering, it will be detected by this detector. On this it will be captured. How many alpha particles are scattering at particular angle of theta, which will be detected, or it can be captured by this detector. So all this will be captured on this. Some flashlight will be present. That flashlight will be fall on this detector. It's going to be measure how many alpha particles are scattering at this particular angle. So that can be captured on this one. Now, from this experiment, for different angles of scattering of alpha particle, different angles of scattering alpha particle. So differently, they measured some graphical data or the graph they drawn. Let us see how it drawn the graph. Look, is it drawn that the graph is drawn in that way. This is theta. This is n. So n is number of alpha particle scattering. Number of alpha particle scattering. How many particles are scattering? N is the number of particles. Theta is angle of scattering. Whatever the angles of this scattering particle is there, this theta, angle of scattering we call. So they have drawn the graph and it got it be like this. So like this something 10 to the power of 7, 10 power 6, 10 power 5, and so on, 10 power 1. And this is 0 degree, maybe 20 degrees, 40 degree, 60 degree, and so on, 180 degree. Up to 180 degree it can be measured, both the side. This remaining of 180 degree, this side 180 degree, right? It will measure. So this is 180 degree. Okay. So if the graph is drawn in that way, they got it exactly like this. Like this they got the graph. Look here. From this graph, you can understand some points and very important points you see. Initially, number of number of alpha particle scattering. How many number of alpha particle scattering is very high. You see 10 to the power of 7 it is starting. So very high. 10 lakhs above 1 lakh it is 1 crore it is basically. Okay. So 10 to the power of 6 means 1 million, nothing but 10 lakhs. So it is 10 to the power of 7. Right? 7 means 1 crore. So nearly most 1 crore of number of alpha particles are scattering at 0 angle. Scattering at 0 angle. Right? That means 1 crore of nearly 1 crore of alpha particle are scattering 0 angle means. 0 angle means what? Scattering 0 angle means what? No scattering actually. No scattering. Or it is passing through gold foil without deflecting or without deviation in any angle. Clear? That means we can say first point we can note from here what it is means. Most of alpha particles, like you can say 99.86%, most of 99.86% of alpha particles are scattered with 0 degree, that is not deflected. Clear? So most of the alpha particle after passing through gold foil, which are not deflected, is observed from experimentally. So almost 99.86%, 99.86% of those alpha particle are scattering. If you take 100%, total number of alpha particles scattering is 100%. In that 99% of 99.86% are undeflected, zero deviation, zero scattering angle, no deflection, right? Then second point you can note, we can from this graph is very remaining percentage. You see 99.86 is not deflected. The remaining percentage, that means point how much 14% are deflected more than 1 degree. That is theta is greater than 1 degree for this. 0.14% of alpha particles are deflected more than 1 degree. More than 1 degree. Clear? Then one more thing, experimentally is observed it actually, because they did experiment. Rutherford is a series of experiment is conducted on different elements. So finally from the gold foil, he concluded the overall atomic model of that Rutherford atomic model. Actually, initially, the Rutherford conducted a series of alpha particle scattering experiment. Alpha particles fall on uranium, alpha particle fall on different elements. But finally, with help of gold foil, he explained his model. So from this gold foil, whatever the experiment is conducted, the experimental observation he observed, and the graph and data is selected and graph is drawn. Based on this, these are the observation noting. Main important points we are saying that. Clear? Now, third point we can note here, which is 1 in 8,000 means 8,000 of alpha particle are scattering, means in that one alpha particle are deflected or deviated greater than 90 degree. 1 in 8,000 are deflected more than 90 degree deflection. More than 90 degree deflection means what? You see here, this is a beam of alpha particle is going, if it's straight line is going in, no deflection. Some angle theta, so it deflecting like this. This is 90 degree deflection. More than 90 means like this. Like this is coming, like this, more than 90 degree. Clear? But percentage is how much? 1 in 8,000. 8,000 of alpha particle are scattering, means in that one particle scattering more than 90 degree. Clear? Next point. Fourth point is 1 in 10 power 6. 1 in 10 power 6 means 10 lakhs. 1 in 10 lakhs. 10 lakh alpha particle are participating or scattering in experiment, means one of the alpha particle observed that 1 in 10 to the power of 6 is deflected. (180 degree). Deflected 180 degree. That means bounce back or return back. Return back. 1 in 10 to the power of 6, the alpha particle is return back. Return back means what? How it is going in forward direction like this, hit on the gold foil and return back. Hit on the gold foil and return back. So that means 1 in percentage of reflecting back or bouncing back after striking on the gold foil. 1 in 10 to the power of 6 deflected in 180 degree means bouncing back. It is bounce back, right? This is, that means very carefully observed from this. We can observe the what are things can be. Most of the alpha particles are scattered with 0 degree or not deflecting. What things we can understand from here? You see, I said in the beginning of experiment, alpha particle is a positively charged particle, right? And most of the alpha particle, nothing but most of the positive charge is deviating. Most of the alpha particle is deviating 0 degree, no deviation. That means atom, total atom, most of the atom, the most of the space occupied by the atom is empty. Most of the atom space is empty only. It has no mass, or it is not filled with the positive or negative charge. If it is anything is there, either attraction or repulsion will be present, because already alpha particle is a positively charged particle. So nothing is observed means it is undeflected, means there is no attraction, there is no repulsion. That means most of the atom space is empty. That part you can understand from this point. Now, second point is if 0.4%, 1.4% are deflected more than 1 degree. That means the repulsion present, deflected, deviating means repulsion only. Repulsion is present from very small space inside the atom. Very small amount of space inside the atom. From there, it is deflecting or it has positive charge is there. And 1 in 8,000 more than 90 degree, and 1 in 10 to the power of 6 deflecting 180 degree. Deflecting 180 degree means bouncing back. Strong repulsion force is experienced. The last point you see, 1 alpha particle in 10 power 6 alpha particle bouncing back after striking on gold foil. That means strong repulsion force is experienced by that particle. Strong repulsion force. So strong repulsion force means, but it is 10 to the power of 6, 10 lakhs of alpha particle means 1 is only reflecting back or bouncing back. That means there is a certain smallest, extremely small space in which positive charge is located. According to this point, we can understand inside the gold foil or atom, there is an extremely small space present which has a positive charge. That's the reason strong repulsion force is experienced. Otherwise, it won't come back. It won't come back. So it is coming back means what? What is it meaning? Alpha particle is a positive charge and reflecting back means repulsion force. Strong repulsion force is experienced that. So that means a extremely small space inside the atom which has possess positive charge, and that is named as nucleus. The Rutherford is named as the smallest space inside the atom, extremely smallest space inside the atom is named as nucleus, and it consists of positive charge is said. It consists of positive charge. Clear? Consists of positive charge. And it consists of positive charge from this point that you can understand. Clear? So, if these 4 points are clear, whatever I written on the board, and one more thing, if this data or this graph is drawn according to that one mathematical equation is given. So that mathematical equation is number of alpha particles scattering with scattering angle, with a scattering angle. So that is given by n is equal to k ze square kz square by sine to the power 4 theta by 2. Kz square sine to the power 4 into theta by 2, where theta is angle of scattering, n is number of alpha particles scattering. K is a constant only, K constant, and Z is atomic number. Clear? So note down it. Student, is this every part of this experiment, what I have written on the board is clear? Any point is doubt you asked me? Any point is not clear, you can ask me, and this formula you remember, because some question directly they may ask from the based on this. I will say what type of question they may ask. Example question we'll see now. But these points are clear, everyone? Any doubt? Boys and girls, tell me. So this is graph n versus theta we have drawn like this curve we got, and n is number of alpha particles scattering. How many particles are scattering? And this theta is angle of scattering. And the formula k z square by sine to the power 4 into theta by 2. Sine to the power 4 into theta by 2. Then this, from this graph, whatever the things or he observed, alpha Rutherford observed from experiment. See, 10 power 7, 0 degree deflection is from the graph. That means most of alpha particle, 99.86% are scattered with 0 degree. That is not deflected. Without deviation, they passes through the gold foil. Then 0.14% remaining are deflected more than 1 degree. More than 1 degree means it may be a 20, 30, 40, 60, 90, 180 degree also. More than 1 degree. And 1 in 8,000 deflected more than 90 degree. More than 90 degree they deflected. 1 in 10 power 6 is deflected with 180 degree, that is returned back. Means most strong repulsion force is experienced by that particle. Okay. So when it is strike exactly center point of atom, it is named as a nucleus. Clear? Noted? Right. Write down one point regarding this atomic model. Write down. I'll dictate one point. Formula also you note down. Formula is like, see, n is equal to k z square by sine to the power 4 into theta by 2. Sine to the power 4 into theta by 2. K is a constant value. They will give in the question, not a problem. Z is atomic number. Generally, you know that atomic number, right? Sine to the power 4 theta by 2. So sine to the power 4 theta by 2. Theta is angle of scattering. But most of the questions related to this formula will come based on the angle of scattering only. Like this, at this angle, this many number of alpha particle are scattering. So what are the number of alpha particles scattered at some other angle? That means related to sine to the power theta by 4 only they will ask, right? So just simple remember, n is inversely proportional to sine to the power theta by 2. Sine to the power theta by 2. Sorry, sine to the power 4 into theta by 2. Or you can also, we can write 1 by sine theta, we can write cosec theta, right? 1 by sine theta, you can written as cosec theta. So n is equal to kz square cosec to the power 4 into theta by 2 also we can write. Sometime then they ask proportional to whom means directly proportional to cosec to the power 4 into theta by 2 or inversely proportional to sine to the power 4 into theta by 2. So one point you note down from this, which I explained just now, that I'm dictating. Million electron volt, alpha particle, that much of million, 5.5 million electron volt is there. Okay. So that is alpha particle energy they mentioned. What is given in your message, that is line they directed by beam of, line means this beam of alpha particle, which has a 5.5 million electron volt. Each alpha particle has 5.5 million electron volt. That is the meaning of that. Each alpha particle in that line has 5.5 million electron volt energy is there. That alpha particle energy it was. Clear? The point I'm going to dictate is, note down it. Note down. Most of the space in an atom, most of the space in an atom is empty. Most of the space in an atom is empty. Next point. Most of the atom in most of the space in an atom is empty. The reason for that, you can know that most of the alpha particle are scattering without 0 degree or not deflecting. So that means most of the alpha particle are not scattering, means it's not going to be experience any repulsion or attraction. That is the reason they are not deflecting anything. Most of the most of the space of atom is empty. Next point. Extremely small space. Extremely small space located at center of the atom, located at center of the atom, located at center of the atom, having positive charge, having positive charge. Extremely small space located at center of the atom, located at center of the atom, having positive charge, is called nucleus. Is called nucleus. Is called nucleus. Clear? And is called nucleus. So based on that points, the Rutherford is given approximately the size of the atom as size of atom is in order of 10 power or angstrom, or 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, and size of nucleus in order of 10 power minus 15 meter, 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Size of nucleus 10 to the power of minus 15 meter order. Atom size 10 to the power of minus 10 order. Remember, 10 to the power of minus 10. 10 power minus 10 means angstrom. 10 power minus 15 means Fermi. Fermi, F-E-R-M-I, Fermi. Generally, size of the nucleus in the order of 10 to the power of minus 15 or in Fermi meter. Atom size is angstrom order or 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. Clear? Now look, some other related to this. There is another mathematical equation. What is that? Let us look here. Is these points are clear, everyone? Still anybody doubt? Let us one question, we'll do it based on this formula which I given just now. How the question they may ask, look here. Right. Look here. One question based on that. Before that, I will write n is equal to k z square by sine to the power 4 theta by 2, correct? So we can write n is inversely proportional, or this can be written as kz square cosec to the power 4 theta by 2 also we can write. So n is inversely proportional to 1 by sine to the power 4 theta by 2 you can write, or directly proportional to cosec power 4 theta by 2 also we can write. N is inversely proportional to sine to the power 4 theta by 2 or cosec to the power theta by 2. Then the question is, you see, okay, in alpha particle experiment observed that that 20 alpha particle per minute are scattering at 90 degree. Per minute 20 alpha particle are scattering at 90 degree. Okay. Find out number of alpha particles are scattered per minute at theta is equal to 60 degree and theta is equal to 120 degree. Theta is equal to 60 degree and theta equal to 120 degree. A question I'm repeating, you see, in alpha particle experiment observed that 20 alpha particle per minute are scattering at 90 degree. 20 alpha particle per minute are scattering at 90 degree angle. That is, per minute 20 alpha particle are scattering at a 90 degree angle, deviating 90 degree. Find out number of alpha particles are scattered per minute. That is, number of alpha particles scattered per minute we need to calculate at theta is equal to 60 degree and 120 degree. So theta is equal to 60 degree and 120 degree we need to calculate first. Clear? Question is clear, everyone? Now, solution part you see. So they have given at 90 degree how many particles are scattering, they given, right? They want to find at 60 as well as 120. So can I write directly proportionality, because for angles are different but everything is same only. So kz square value will be same. They did not mention about which atomic number. so that we will take it as same only. So Z is same, K is same. So just N is dependent on theta. N is dependent on theta. So can I write directly? N is directly proportional to 1 by sine to the power 4 theta by 2. Right? So can I write here? N1 by N2 is equal to sine to the power 4 inversely proportional, right? Theta 2 by 2 by sine to the power 4 theta 1 by 2. Correct? So we can write now N1 they given it 90 degree, N2 at 60 as well as 120 will calculate. So first I will say with 60. So I am taking theta 1 now. The mention initially 90 degree, N1 is 20 per minute. Okay. Then theta 2, it is 60 degree and N2 we need to calculate. So substitute the values now. N1 20 by N2, that is equal to sine theta 2 60 degree, right? Sine to the power 4 theta 2 is how much? 60 degree by 2 by sine to the power 4 theta 1 is 90 degree by 2. So can I write here 60 by 2 is 30, 90 by 2 is 45, correct? Sine to the power 4, 60 by 2 is 30 by sine to the power 4, 90 by 2 become 45 degree. Sine 30 value is 1 by 2. Sine 45 value is 1 by root 2. So finally we can get the answer 20 by N2 is equal sine to the power 4 into 30 degree. So 1 by 4, 1 by 2 all to the power 4. So can I write like this? 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, 4 times. Because sine 30 is 1 by 2 and whole power 4 is there 4 times. Sine 45 degree value is how much? 1 by root 2. To the power 4 is there. So can I write 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2. Clear? So can I cancel now? 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2. That is nothing but 1 by 2 only. Then again 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2. Again 1 by 2. So overall it become how much? 1 by 4. So 20 by N2 is equal to 1 by 4. Then if you cross multiply, I'm writing here 20 by N2 is equal to 1 upon 4. We got just now. Then N2 cross multiply, 80 will come. 80 per minute. This is answer. Clear? 80 per minute. Is it clear? Just see the board. Any doubt is there in the step you asked me? This part is clear, everything, how we did the question is clear. Any doubt? The 120 degree case yourself you do similar to this. 120 degree case you can do it yourself. Clear? 120 degree case you can do yourself. Like this only theta 1 you can take 90 degree, theta 2 120 degree at that time. N1 is 20, N2 will calculate. So similarly you proceed, you will get. And you know that theta is 120 degree here. So theta by 2 na 120 by 2, 60 degree. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So that you can write down. Answer it will come. Clear? So that you do it yourself. Next. Then related to Rutherford alpha particle scattering experiment, there is two more mathematical equations are there, or mathematical concept is there. What is that? Let us see. Look carefully. What is that? One is distance of closest approach. What is distance of closest approach means? See, whenever alpha particle, a line of alpha particle or a beam of alpha particle is moving towards the atom or nucleus. Look carefully here. Here nucleus is there with a positive charge, small area. Okay. One alpha particle is coming like this, coming. We know that alpha particle is, I said, one alpha particle in 10 lakhs. One alpha particle in 10 lakhs is bouncing back or deviating 180 degree. That means it's exactly striking on the center of the nucleus. So that is bouncing back because of strong nucleus and strong electrostatic repulsion force. Because alpha particle is positive charge, nucleus also positive charge. So both are repulsion force is there. That's the reason, because of repulsion force, alpha particle is bouncing back. But due to this alpha particle repulsion force with the nucleus of the atom, right? So let us, it is going with alpha particle is emitting with some velocity, initially velocity, it is going. But here alpha particle is there, here nucleus is there. Because of the nucleus on the alpha particle, repulsion force is there. That is, the repulsion force will be this side. Nothing but there is a retardation is experienced by alpha particle due to the nucleus. Retardation. Due to retardation, what happens? Slowly the velocity of the alpha particle decreases. Velocity of alpha particle decreases slowly because of repulsion force. Decreases. At certain point, it becomes zero. Clear? So when alpha particle initially it is coming with velocity v, and slowly velocity decreasing because of repulsion force, and finally at that particular point it will become zero. Clear? Once it is become zero means still retardation force this side only acting. So now from this again it will start moving in backward direction. Clear? So this is nucleus. And this is the point up to which alpha particle came. And this distance we call it as d. Closest approach distance. What is the closest approach distance we call? Clear? Closest means what is the nearest point to the nucleus an alpha particle can go. What is the nearest distance up to which an alpha particle can go towards the nucleus of the atom? So that closest or nearest distance with from alpha particle position to nucleus we call closest approach distance we call. So what is the concept? What is the closest approach distance is clear. One alpha particle is coming from the source, like one source, like in alpha particle experiment source, alpha particle is coming with initial velocity v, and this v slowly decreasing because of repulsion force. Since repulsion force with nucleus of atom, because of repulsion force, so v decreasing, finally zero. At which point the velocity of alpha particle zero, and from there to nucleus distance is called closest approach distance. It is generally denoted by d. Okay, then how we can calculate How we can calculate the closest approach distance? Means simple. When initially it is travel with the velocity v, means initially it has kinetic energy. Yes. And slowly it is moving towards the nucleus, and there is electrostatic force is there. So due to this electrostatic force, repulsion force, v decreasing, finally velocity 0. Correct? So no other forces are there. Only electrostatic force is there between the alpha particle of positive charge of alpha particle and positive charge of nucleus of an atom. Only electrostatic repulsion force is there. That means we know very well electrostatic is a conservative field. So in conservative field, energy is conserved. Energy is conserved. So we will apply the conservation of energy here. Initial whatever is there for the alpha particle, initial for the system of alpha particle and nucleus, conservation of energy will apply. So from conservation of energy, okay, so K initial plus U initial, kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to K final plus U final. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. Kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. And you have studied in electrostatic potential energy between the two charges K Q1 Q2 by R. K Q1 Q2 by R. But you assume that the potential energy at infinity is 0. Potential energy at infinity is 0. Correct? So when R is infinity, the potential energy between these two charges become 0. These two charges become 0. And Q1 and Q2 separated by some R distance, finite distance, not infinity. Then the electrostatic potential energy is K Q1 Q2 by R. K Q1 Q2 by R. Correct? Similarly to the initial potential energy between alpha particle and nucleus. Alpha particle and nucleus. What is alpha particle and nucleus mean? Look carefully here. Okay. So now K initial we know half m alpha v alpha square, because m alpha means mass of the alpha particle, v alpha means alpha particle velocity. Next, U initial. U initial is what? U initial means initial alpha particle here, nucleus is here. So distance between them is how much? Finite distance or infinite distance? Infinite distance. Why it is infinite distance means, I said nucleus size is 1 Fermi, 10 to the power of minus 15. Very small. In front of that, even if you take it is a one alpha particle initial from there to here, even at 1 centimeter distance also there. So in front of 10 to the power of minus 15 meter, so 1 meter or 1 centimeter is infinite only, because 10 to the power of minus 15 is very small. So we can consider the distance is in front of 10 to the power of minus 15. The initial distance from alpha particle to nucleus is very high, or infinity we can say, infinite we can say. Infinite you can say. Clear? Clear? This is atom here. So you can say that initially 0. Okay. Then final kinetic energy, tell me. At closest distance, final kinetic energy 0. So alpha particle coming to rest, final kinetic energy 0. Then final potential energy, tell me. Final potential energy. Potential energy basically K Q1 Q2 by. If you confuse with the K, I will write kinetic energy, or EI I will write. EI. Because K, if you write there in the K, you confuse that. I will write EI. E final 0. So what is E here? Kinetic energy of alpha particle. Clear? E is the kinetic energy of alpha particle. So final kinetic energy 0, initial kinetic energy this much. Final potential energy is basically K, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, right? K Q1 Q2 by the closest distance between them is D square. Here K1 is alpha particle. Alpha particle. Alpha particle is what? Alpha particle charge is how much? Charge of alpha. Charge of alpha is what? 2 into E. 2 protons will be present. 2 into E. Q2 will be charge of nucleus. Charge of nucleus means what? Basically, nucleus, how many protons are there? That depends upon atomic number. How many protons are there? That much positive charge is there. So it depends upon atomic number. So atomic number is Z, let us say. It is Q2, not a Z. And this is Z. Z into E. How many atomic number? How much atomic number into E? Because number of atomic number is equal to number of protons. Correct? So Z into E. So Q1 is the alpha particle charge. Q2 is the nucleus charge, ZE. Right? So Q2 is charge of nucleus. Charge of nucleus. Now I will substitute in the basic conservation equation. So we will get closest to distance approach you will get. Clear? Look here. So I can write here E initial 1 by 2 m alpha v alpha square plus 0, that is equal to K final 0 plus Q1 K, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 2 into E, that is Z into E, by D only, not D square, because K Q1 Q2 by R only, right? D. Correct? So from this, can I write here directly? So 1 by 2 m alpha v alpha square, that is equal to 2 into, okay, Z E into E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into D. Correct? From this, D can be written as D cross multiplication. So D I am taking here and this will come here. So as usually numerator 2ZE square only present by this will come down 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by 2 m alpha v alpha square. Clear? This one. Or furtherly you want to simplify this one. Okay. What we can write? D is equal to 2 into Z E square by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 2 m alpha v alpha. I can write E, energy of alpha particle. E is kinetic energy of alpha particle. Kinetic energy of alpha particle. So D is equal to 2 ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E. So E, or they be given velocity, you can use this formula. Directly energy given, you can use this formula. Energy directly given, you can use this one, or and what do you call mass and velocity given, you can use this formula. Depends upon the situation of the question. Clear? Final formula is clear. Just we conservation of energy applied. That's it. Nothing we did. Conservation of energy we applied. Clear? Any doubt in the derivation? Any doubt in the derivation? Simply we can say, because initial potential energy is 0, final kinetic energy is 0. Nothing but initial kinetic energy only, final potential energy. Nothing but kinetic energy of alpha particle. So finally converted as potential energy of the system. Potential energy of the system. Simple. Clear? Finally, you can see kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. Kinetic energy is equal to potential energy of the system. From that D we got. D is the closest distance approach. Closest distance approach. Note down, the formula is very important. They will ask numerical question based on that. Is it clear, boys and girls? The part of the closest distance approach. Derivation is clear. Note down. Say yes or no. Is it clear the part of the closest distance final? This formula and this formula is clear, everyone? Say yes or no. Clear? Four by four, you want to cancel it, you can cancel out. But why I kept like that means directly sometimes in the question, energy of alpha particle they will give. Energy of alpha particle. You can see in that this twos are cancel out. Okay. But sometimes numerical question, why I kept in that way means energy of alpha particle E directly they will give. That means this part completely they will give. And 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value we know 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Correct? So that in numerical question directly we can use. So that's the reason I did not cancel out here. But because numerical question you want to substitute there, directly you can substitute. Otherwise, if I cancel here at 4 pi epsilon naught, so again you ought to write pi value, epsilon naught value, etc. For numerical purpose, I kept there only like that. Clear? That question what you asked me that we'll discuss now, but before that one more concept is there, that is impact parameter. Impact parameter. What is impact parameter? You see, impact parameter, you see, Generally denoted by B. Impact parameter. What is impact parameter mean? Look carefully. Here we have a nucleus. Nucleus we have. Okay. So alpha particle is coming. Coming and deviated like this. For example, assume that this is alpha particle. Alpha particle. Okay. Initially, it is going in that way and deviating in this direction, some angle, right? So this is initial velocity vector. This is initial velocity in this direction for alpha particle. And this is center of the nucleus. So this distance basically, this distance, perpendicular distance between, you look here, this is center of the nucleus. One alpha particle came in that way, initially velocity this direction, because of repulsion force, it is deviated like this, okay? Deviated like this, yes or no? Yes. So this V initially directed in this direction, center of the nucleus here. So the distance between this center of the nucleus to V, so that perpendicular distance we call impact parameter. Impact parameter, the perpendicular distance between center of nucleus to initial velocity vector of alpha particle. Listen carefully. The perpendicular distance between center of nucleus to initial velocity vector of alpha particle. Initial velocity vector I am asking. I'm saying that initial velocity vector, not final velocity vector. Finally, it may be deviated like this. Finally, it may be deviated in that way. You cannot say this is what impact parameter. This is not impact parameter. Clear? Because it's a final velocity vector direction. This is final velocity vector direction. But according to the definition of impact parameter, the perpendicular distance between center of nucleus to initial velocity vector, initial velocity. So initial velocity here it is there. So straight line, this is initial velocity like this. So this is the distance of impact parameter, not this. Correct? So impact parameter is that distance or you can say because it is coming very close to this only very closest to distance. You can say it is closest to distance also. Closest to distance. Not impact parameter. This D is not impact parameter, closest distance. So the perpendicular distance between center of nucleus to initial velocity vector of alpha particle is impact parameter. Clear? Now look carefully. This I said distance of closest approach. Okay. Suppose this distance of closest approach very small. Very small means this D is 0 or it is very close to here along straight line. So at that time the impact parameter will be what? Or if we say initial velocity vector along center of the nucleus only, initial velocity vector along center of the nucleus, then impact parameter become 0 because I will write here, you see. Look here. Suppose center of the nucleus is here and initial velocity vector alpha particle direction also here only. Initial velocity alpha. See, same direction. What is the perpendicular distance between them? Initial velocity vector again pointing towards center of the nucleus only. For example, if center of the nucleus only points, what happens? Initial velocity vector pointing towards center of the nucleus. This is center. So along the center only. So what will be the perpendicular distance? 0. So perpendicular distance is what in this case? Perpendicular distance is what? 0. That implies impact parameter is 0. Then impact parameter is 0 means whenever alpha particle is going towards the center of the nucleus, whatever it is, it bounce back. It will bounce back. So that implies theta will be 180 degree or pi radians. Theta will be 180 degree or pi radian. That means if angle of scattering angle is 180 degree, impact parameter is 0. Or reverse, impact parameter is 0, the angle of scattering will be 180 degree or it is bounce back. Clear? Bounce back. Suppose if theta is 0 degree, no deflection. Okay. So at that time B will be somewhat high will get. Okay. So the relation of mathematical equation for scattering angle and impact parameter, the given the mathematical equation. I will say that question, I will say, don't worry. Sound is clear now? Somebody saying that sound is not clear. So that impact parameter, that is given it as B is equal to ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught into energy of alpha, or you can say energy of alpha only, into cot theta by 2. This is equation. Relation between angle of scattering as well as ZE square cot theta by 2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into alpha particle energy. B is equal to ZE square cot theta by 2 4 pi epsilon naught alpha particle energy. So this is impact parameter. So just now I written one equation for closest to distance. Closest to distance equation I written 2ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha. Do you remember? 2ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha I written, right? So from this, can I write ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha? ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught into E alpha. So that means, can I write here D by 2 that is equal to ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught into E alpha. So I replace this one here. So finally the impact parameter it will come. So in place of ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha, this value I can return as D by 2 directly. So D by 2, then cot theta by 2. COT it is, cot theta by 2. Theta is angle of scattering. Now B is impact parameter. D is closest distance. Theta is angle of scattering. Relation it is. B is equal to D by 2 cot theta by 2. It is the closest distance impact. D is the closest distance. B is impact parameter. Theta is angle of scattering. Relation between all these three parameters. Scattering angle, closest distance, B. Clear? So this is equation here. There is no proof for this impact parameter. Okay, directly formula you remember. So otherwise you can remember B is equal to D by 2 cot theta by 2 or ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha into cot theta by 2 also. Okay. So this is relation between impact parameter and closest distance approach. Listen carefully. Closest distance approach you can calculate by equating the initial kinetic energy of alpha particle to the potential energy of the system. Potential energy of the system, right? 2E into ZE by 4 pi epsilon naught into R or D equal to 1 by 2 M alpha into V alpha square. If you equate it, you will get a D there. Then once you get D, impact parameter easily you can calculate. So in numerical question, what you can do? First calculate the D by using this formula. Put in this here. Put this D here. So B is equal to D by 2 cot theta by 2. Scattering angle they will give, you can calculate. Clear? Yes or no? Tell me, anything doubt? D by 2 will come ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha. Here 2 is not there, but 2 is there in that formula. In distance of closest approach, 2 is there in the here. So if I took 2 is here, D by 2, then ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha. ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught E alpha. So this, in place of this, I have written D by 2. The formula is B is equal to D by 2 cot theta by 2. D by 2 into cot theta by 2. Don't cancel theta by 2 and D by 2. That is different. This is different. Clear, na? So this theta by 2 is different. Here 1 by 2 different. Don't confuse there. Ladies, one of you given one question, right? So that I will discuss now. So Rutherford alpha particle scattering experiment and its model. This is, in that you need to remember basic points. Most of the atom is empty. Center point is positive charge. That is nucleus. It has for extremely very small in size. Right? Around that nucleus, electrons will revolve in circular orbit. Right? So some drawbacks are there that we'll discuss tomorrow. Then basic important related to the alpha particle scattering is, one is first case, first I said na, number of alpha particle scattering, n is inversely proportional to sine to the power 4 theta by 2, sine to the power 4 theta by 2. That one equation. Second one is closest distance approach. Third one is impact parameter. Basically the numerical question they ask from alpha particle scattering in this only. So that question you see, they said it. Look, what is that question? So that question you see here, just now I sent in both the group. In a Giger-Marsden experiment, what is the distance of closest approach to the nucleus of 7.7 million electron volt of alpha particle before it comes to momentarily rest and reverse its direction? So which nucleus they did not, sir, nucleus you can take there. Actually in gold foil experiment means alpha particle scattering experiment is gold, right? Or in general you take, generally that suppose the 7.7 is given, suppose uranium nucleus you take for uranium alpha particle scattering. If you take for uranium alpha particle scattering, so what happened? Closest distance approach, D formula directly we have. D is equal to 2 ZE square by 4 pi epsilon naught into E alpha, right? So they've given E alpha as 7.7 million electron volt, right? So 7.7 into 10 to the power of 6 into electron volt is given. So 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Because D will come in meter, right? That's the reason. Then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Z is uranium 92. E value 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Clear? So if I substitute here, what will get you to look here? Closest distance approach. Shall I substitute here? Look here. I will substitute here. So D is equal to 2 into Z 92 into E square. That is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole square by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That will can written as a numerator only. That is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 divided by E alpha. E is 7.7 into 10 to the power of 6. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. 1 cancel out here. Correct? Power 6, power 9. 3 is left. So now you can calculate yourself 92 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 is left. 9 into 10 to the power of 3 left divided by 7.7. So simplify, you will get in meters. Answer will get in meters. Clear? In the same experiment, after calculating this D, calculation of this D after this, then if they given scattering angle like 60 degree they given, scattering angle 60 degree they given. So can we calculate impact parameter here? From there you calculated D substituted here. Okay. Cot theta by 2. So theta is 60 degree is given. Directly you can calculate. Clear? So in that way you need to calculate the cot. So is this part is clear now? What is alpha particle scattering experiment is clear? We'll discuss 1 or 2 questions based on this impact parameter tomorrow. Okay. Closest approach distance also 1 2 hour questions we'll discuss. So after that we'll start Bohr model. Bohr model is simple as you studied in chemistry, similar to that only. Like in Bohr model, how to calculate radius of the orbit, velocity in the orbit, velocity of electron in particular orbit, energy of electron in particular orbit, total energy, like that. That all new mathematical equations only. That I think you studied in chemistry, right? Same thing only we'll revise here. And last we will study line spectrum of hydrogen atom, line spectrum, Lyman series, Balmer series of lines will be present. That will. That is only the atoms, total atom is that syllabus only. Mainly Bohr model and other Rutherford model. Rutherford model tomorrow will, by 10 minutes will finish. After that, Bohr model will start. Is it clear now? Okay. Okay, that is basically, they did not mention it's alpha particle gold foil experiment means. I had not seen that which gold foil experiment or which experiment. If you take Z is 7 gold for gold, alpha particle gold, Rutherford is conducted with alpha particle, right? Sorry, gold foil. So in that gold foil, gold atomic number 79 only. 79 you can take. If they mention clearly, that experiment only mention, actually they should take whether they use gold or something. Okay. So gold means 79 you can take, not a problem. Uranium means 92 you can take. The process only I said. Clear? One million electron volt is not 10 power 6. 10 power 6 electron volt only. But again, electron volt you need to convert into joule. That is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Right. So MPC students, you can leave the session and join in your corresponding next class. And BPC student, you continue. Okay, we will take 2-minute break and we'll continue with the doubt session. BPC student, you stay back. And MPC student, you can leave the session and join in the next session, next your class, whatever the class is there. MPC, BPC student, you continue so that we will discuss the doubts. 2 minutes break you take, and be careful, take the third module. So we'll discuss the question of your dual nature. Okay, third module you take. Open your third module and from there we'll discuss the doubts.